under the Chinese Communist regime. The Tibetan people have been traumatized by the systematic violations of their most fundamental human rights and threats to reducing cultural and national identity since the People's Republic of China invaded Tibet in 1949. Over the last 7 decades, the situation in Tibet has been deteriorating to the extent that it is now facing imminent threat of cultural genocide and total annihilation of the Tibetan identity. Historically, Tibet was an independent nation having a defined territory, distinct population, governments, and maintained diplomatic relations with its neighboring countries. Geographically, Tibet existed as a buffer state for more than 2,000 years between the two Asian giants, India and China, until its illegal occupation by China in 1959. Tibet and India have a millennia-old history of friendly coexistence and natural exchanges. There have been neighboring countries with rich ancient as well as contemporary civilization ties. They have never been in past history any sort of territorial boundaries between India and China. However, such a boundary has now came into being, and that boundary continues to remain a subject dispute, and behind those boundaries are our Tibetan brothers and sisters who continue to suffer under the subjugation representative and repressive policy of China. For the third consecutive years, Tibet has again been ranked as the least free country in the world. This year in the world 2023 Freedom Index report of the Freedom House last year, UN human rights experts expressed serious concern over the large-scale colonial boarding schools in Tibet rapidly being implemented on a massive scale and referred to it as a way to assimilate Tibetans into minorities and culture, contrary into international human rights standards. Likewise, the forced mass DNA sample collection of the Tibetans, including kindergarten school, in an intrusive scrutinization of measures under. Okay, then we have about 5 points to view of these circumstances. We propose the following appeals to your government and urge you to these 10 points recognize Tibet as an occupied nation with its own independent and sovereign past backed by historical evidence. Number two, desist from endorsing Chinese false narrative by labeling Tibet as a minority, referring to Tibet's occupation as an internal issue of Beijing, and proclaiming Tibet as a part of China, thereby aiding China's colonization of Tibet and the subjugation of Tibetans while denying us Tibetans the space and scope to negotiate for more meaningful freedom for Tibetans. Call on the People's Republic of China to re-engage in substantive dialogue with the representatives of His Holiness the Dalai Lama without preconditions to resolve the Tibet-China conflict through the middle way policy of seeking genuine and meaningful autonomy within the framework of the PRC Constitution. Fourth, call upon the United Nations Framework Convention on Climatic Change to launch scientific research studies on the PR government policies, exploitation of Tibet's natural resources, and its negative impact on global climate change. Number five, pressure China to ensure access to independent human rights organizations to monitor and report on the human rights situation, and likewise extend standing invitation to UN special reporters to particularly those focusing on freedoms of opinions and expression, peaceful assembly and association, and human rights defenders, facilitating their visit to Tibet as soon as possible. Number six, urge the PRO government to unconditionally release all Tibetan political prisoners, including Gelbin Chögyinima, 11th Panchen Lama, whose whereabouts and well-being remain unknown since 17 May 1995. Number seven, place the human rights situation in Tibet in the context and the nature of the Tibet-China conflict as international and unresolved. Join the world leaders in displaying concern over human rights violation and religious repression in Tibet, and urge the government to adopt an act to put Chinese officials on the national list of sanctions. Number eight, establish a national legislative framework to tackle China's network authoritarianism and disinformation campaign which cause public mistrust in democratic institutions, political polarization, as well as regional global geopolitical stability and peace. Number nine, expand and deepen your official and diplomatic engagements with the Central Tibetan Administration, which is the continuation of the former government Tibetan independent Tibet in Lhasa as the legitimate representative of the Tibetan people. Number 10, to urge the legislators to express their concern, raise the voice of the human rights violation in Tibet at all the available platforms. We remain immensely grateful to your government and people who stand for Tibet, for standing for truth and for keeping alive our faith in peace, justice. Please accept the assurance of our highest consideration thanking you from our Parliament office. Thank you.
Are you speaking Hindi? Yes. Good evening, Hindi from